Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm and our A through Z playthrough. After that Genji game, I'm feeling pretty good. I wasn't really sure if that was going to go well or not. But now, because when you look at this first portion of the roster, a lot of these I don't really necessarily play all that much, so I was kind of, let's kind of get through this. And then the further along we go, we get to more characters that I do play, which I'm really looking forward to that. And we have gotten to a character that I have been playing a lot more recently because of how strong he is in the current meta, and that is Greymane. When he first came out, I struggled with trying to learn how to play him. I thought that his W build was going to be the way to go. I just liked the whole concept, but it just never really came into fruition that much. And he, at times, seemed very strong, but also had definite faults about him. He's gone through quite a bit of change since then. For one thing, one of his ults got completely changed. It's now called Cursed Bullet, and is designed to take away a huge portion of an enemy's current health, which means this becomes an ult that is fantastic against high health heroes. If you're going up against a multi-warrior comp, this can be a very good way to just chunk a huge portion of their health away. It's every 30 seconds, which is incredible. Or go for the throat, which is great for trying to chase down squishies. He has his trait of Curse of the Worgen, which allows him to go from a ranged assassin as a human to be able to use his weapon, and utilize his current strong build, which is the cocktail build, which can do a ton of burst damage if you hit them with the explosion, and can be very, very strong in that regard. Or he can dive in and be able to use his melee attacks to be able, and as well as use that inner beast to be able to really get a lot of cleaving melee attack damage in. It's a very fun playstyle, and he has been so good. I'm kind of curious whether or not at some point soon here he's going to get a nerf, because he has been one of the top assassins in the game for such a while. He may end up getting pulled back at some point here, because I have heard some people say that they're getting tired of seeing Greymane in a lot of games, especially in ranked play. But I didn't really gravitate to him at first because I struggled with him when he first came out. But since then, when he got his changes, I started messing around with this cocktail build, and I saw why people were really gravitating towards it. Just the way he can just throw it in, be able to try and dive in and finish off an enemy hero. There's a number of different ways you can be able to play him, whether it's ranged or up close with melee. So let's see how we pull off, although this is the weekend, and weekend in quick match is usually an awful place to be. But hopefully we can have some success like we did with Genji.
Gilneas will rise again.
Alright everybody, we find ourselves on the Sky Temple. The friendly team, Greymane, a silenced Tassadar, oh boy. Garrosh, Chromie, Nova versus Junkrat, Tyrande, Nazeebo, Valera, and Tyrael. Well, looks like I won't be doing any much solo laning, because Valera will have me for lunch if I do. So we're going to go with Perfect Aim. This increases the cocktail's range by 30% and refunds mana if it hits an enemy hero. The explosion, not the actual cocktail. Alright, so let's see how this goes here. Very nice use of his Eldruin's Might ability to be able to avoid the whole Garrosh tossing him thing. Very nice. So the thing about Greymane is that sometimes you need to utilize something such as a minion or a wall, because you're not trying to hit the enemy team with your with the cocktail itself. You're trying to hit them with the cocktail's explosion, and you need to use something like the like this zombie wall, for example. Now, unfortunately, they went down before my cocktail could hit. This is a bad spot for me to be in because... Now, see, I was able to hit him with the explosion and it actually did a decent amount of damage to his health. Get my attack speed going. There we go! And disengage over here because I do not want Valera to try and get me. If I stay close to the gate, it's going to help. And this is the kind of thing that makes Greymane a very strong solo laner. I just noticed that Valera is in the middle lane, so I'm okay to try and help clear this wave out while Nazeebo is away. The objective is in the top and middle lane. Oh, there's Valera trying to... So I activated my attack speed, but it's already worn off because I didn't attack with anything. Unfortunately. And that's one of the unfortunate things about that is that you can easily mistime that. And I've been hit with Tyranda's Owl. So now they completely see where I am. So it looks like the Nazeebo came up here. And Valera went down to soak bot, which means I now have to go back down there and soak because we cannot let one of them have free soak. So unfortunately, my team's going to have to just deal without having me there for the objective because I can't let free soak happen, especially when we're already a little behind on XP. Now, the Valera did rotate up top to try and stop that, but I still need to stay down here to kind of help turn this around, especially when the objective is going to be in this lane next. So it looks like my team did get the top one, and they are going to finish capping this mid one here. Now I'm going to dive in here because the thing is, if you get caught in your human form, then you are in big trouble because there's no way to disengage. But if I get caught in my Worgen form, I can just simply roll away with my E ability. If you've never seen Greymane before, the cocktail ability is the Q button. The attack speed buff is the W, but the E is the way to help utilize the whole shape-shifting thing. Now see, I use my E to dive in there against the Nazeebo, and oh my gosh, okay, there we go. Woo! And then, now when I'm in my Worgen form, my abilities change. My Q is now a swipe, a nice AoE melee attack, but my E is now disengage, where I roll away into my human form. It's a fantastic way to be able to try and get away from danger, which can happen quite often. Now, because of this attack speed buff, Greymane is actually really good at taking camps very fast. He just doesn't have any kind of way to get himself health back, so you just kind of have to outrace the damage of this camp and then get away. Fortunately, you also get a damage mitigation when you are in Worgen form, as you take 10% less damage when you are in Worgen form, which I guess makes sense, because now you are this big hulking werewolf, so why wouldn't you get some kind of damage reduction, right? So there we go. It's able to... And the thing about, once you build up the cocktail ability and its damage, it becomes fantastic wave clear. And this is one of the reasons, another reason why Greymane is so good at being one of those, what we call a solo laner. Now see there, I used the minion to have the cocktail explosion hit Valera, and that got me one of the stacks, which I picked up at level 7. It's called Incendiary Elixir, which increases the damage every time I hit up to... I got hit by 15, and it'll increase the damage by a lot. And then once I finish the quest, it will reduce the cooldown, which means I'll be able to throw this out a lot more often and be able to get more burst damage. So unfortunately, we are losing the objective here, but we do have our Garrosh moving in. There we go, we finished off the Valera. We are a little ahead. We can actually get a big advantage here to help turn this around by getting this and be able to get in here and be able to... I still have my attack speed buff going. We now have our ults ready to go. I picked up Cursed Bullet. See, unfortunately, because he had low health, my ult did very little damage to Tyrael because it's not his based on his maximum health, it's based on his current health. In hindsight, I probably should have just taken Go for the Throat. Though it has an 80-second cooldown instead of a 30-second cooldown. But sometimes that can be a way to help, another way to help kind of get yourself back into human form so you can use your cocktail more often. Because sometimes you could be stuck in either form. Like, you know. Alright, there we go. Excellent job getting, getting the Tyrande there. Alright, I'm going to go to mid. And someone's going to have to go top because Nazeebo is soaking top. And we cannot let a Nazeebo be able to soak by himself. Go here and clear this minion wave. As I said, because of his swipe and his cocktail, he is so good at lane clear. So I know some people like to use these characters for, looking just for hero damage. I'm one of those who is wanting to use them for lane clear and get an XP for his teammates. Ooh, our Nova used the bribe. So that's going. I'm going to go over here and grab this camp. Push along with it. And of course, as I mentioned, the attack speed buff just makes it where I can get these camps very quickly. So we're struggling here a bit. I did just come in and just boom. Oh, our Chromie survived, but she isn't. Oh, no, never mind. The boss got aggroed and finished off the Chromie. That's not good. So I used my Curse Bullet there to try and chunk away at Tyrande's health. I was able to then be able to use my abilities there. Unfortunately, though, we are being chased. I'm going to pick up Running Wild here at level 13 to be able to increase the amount of range that I can be able to utilize my Disengage and my Dark Flight. Ugh. Unfortunately, the Valeera was able to get away.
Guardians, do not let these mortals approach them.
And unfortunately, it looks like they are already down here getting this objective. Yep, the Tyrael is right there. I don't necessarily want to engage here. Especially with the threat that... Yep, there's the Valeera. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Majority of my team is taking mid. Very annoying comp to go against. Yeah, not really able to get much value right now from this Cursed Bullet. Alright. Oh boy, okay. I am pretty low on health. I should get away before Valeera turns around and tries to get me. Gonna go back and get some health. I could try and get this camp, but unfortunately the thing is, because I'm going up against a Valeera, there's always that threat that Valeera could show up, wait here until I'm done with the camp, and then try and take me out and steal the camp. We are very close to 16. If we could get that, that'd be great. But I'm going to go ahead and try this. I think I completely missed my cocktail there. Fortunately, my teammates did come over to help me out get this. To eliminate the threat that Valeera could come over and steal this. They might be trying to steal this boss. Or not this boss, this camp here. Yes, they are. Ugh. I did hit him with my cursed bolt to chunk away some of his health, but unfortunately I got killed before that could be done. Hopefully our Tassadar finished them off. At level 16, you can go a number of different directions here. I like Eager Wolf to increase the attack speed if I'm going to be utilizing that on certain maps. Like, for example, it makes him very strong when attacking the Immortal on Battlefield of Eternity. Executioner, of course, if you have a lot of slows, roots, and stuns on your team, you're going to get a lot of value from that. Alpha Killer can be good against a lot of high health enemies. We have a Slowing Sands Chromie, a Nova. We have a lot of slows. You know what? I'm going to take Executioner because I'm expecting that my team is going to be able to use all these slows they have to give me a ton of value. Gonna go in there, chunk away at the cereal. Alright, so that is excellent, excellent, excellent. Unfortunately, this Junkrat, he uses ult. And unfortunately, our Chromie was not able to stay alive long enough. Ugh. To avoid that. That's a real shame. The Valera is up, and Junkrat is probably heading over here right now. Oh, and yep, there's the Valera. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, he trapped me. Unfortunately, the Tassadar completely trapped me with Valera because of that wall. Oh my goodness. Somehow I didn't die there, even though the... Oh my... I hate Tyrande.
Our ally requires assistance.
It's stupid stuff like that with that stupid owl that... Oh, I cannot stand Tyrande.
Our ally requires assistance.
I have never been able to pull off a snipe like that with Tyrande. I see people do that with Tyrande all the time. I can never do it. It's one of the reasons why I never liked playing as Tyrande. Just felt like I could never pull off these owl sniping things that they are always pulling off. It made no sense to me. And now, once again, she just... Look at that! Look at that! Look at how much health that stupid owl just took away from me.
Of the temple sleeps.
It's ridiculous. She's not even a... never... Hold on. I'm gonna stop. I don't want to start ranting about Tyrande. Not until I get to her video where I talk about her. They are kind of... unfortunately, they all ran away. And look at how much health I just lost again from that stupid Sentinel. I'm wanting to get some value here from my abilities, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to. Oh my gosh. And there we go. The Junkrat killed me. And look at this Tyrande with that stupid Shadow Stalk, turning her into one of those stealth heroes. Ugh! I hate Tyrande. So ridiculous. She's categorized as a support, and yet she's not even a support anymore. She does... I don't care what this ability can do to reduce her cooldown. She is not a healer anymore. It's so stupid. Look at this. How can you call her a support, categorize her as support when she's able to do that? This is turning more into how much I hate Tyrande instead of more about Greymane. It's just all of a sudden turned around because Tyrande was able to use her owls and be able to utilize her stealth. Oh, and look at that. They are now taking every camp. And of course, our silenced Tassadar is now doing ridiculous pings. And again, somehow, she's able to know exactly where I am and snipe me. And unfortunately, once again, because this, these Nazebo players, ugh. The Tyranda's, the Valera's right there.
The future belongs to those who take it.
Unfortunately, they're 21 and we're not even 20 yet, so we don't even have our 20 talents. Oh my gosh, there's the Valera. And look at, oh my gosh! The stupid Sentinel does almost 1,000 damage. And then of course, Nazebo's poison his spiders. Oh my gosh. Tyrande and Valera, that's about as annoying as it gets. A stealth Tyrande with a stealth Valera. I cannot wait for these stealth reworks to come into the game because I'm so sick of stealth heroes. I don't main any stealth heroes, so I don't care. Get stealth heroes to where they are absolutely awful. I'm so sick of stealth heroes ruining this game, especially in quick match. Look at how much health that just took from Tassadar. That one Sentinel just took a ridiculous amount of health. At level 20, we're going to take Hunter's Blunderbuss, which splashes our auto attack damage when we are in human form. Look at this Nazebo. See, that's the burst damage that you can be able to pull off with a Greymane. I chunked his health with that bullet, and then I was able to just take away another portion of his health with my cocktail. That's the kind of damage that you can do with Greymane. Wow. I'm so sick of these Tyrandas using Shadowstalk to sneak up on you, hit you with their owls, and just all of a sudden, she's a support. Just change her categorization. That's all I want. Change her categorization to where she's not a support anymore. I have to sit here in base because I have to get my health back instead of helping defend the base. And now the Tyrael. I want to kill this Tyrande so badly right now. There we go. I killed the Tyrande. I don't even care if this Junkrat kills me right now. I killed the Tyrande. And now I'm happy. Oh, man. They're getting both temples. And this is what it's like, unfortunately, playing squishies like Greymane in quick match. Because when you're playing squishies like Greymane in quick match, and you get matched up against ridiculous heroes like Tyrande and Valera that are able to do this double stealth nonsense that can just multi-stun you and just be able to do this ridiculous amount of burst damage. These two, oh my gosh. This is the kind of stuff that is what gets me salty in this game. I hope I was able to somewhat show you what Greymane's capable of. Somewhat. Even though I wasn't really able to because of the nonsense of going up against a Tyrande and a Valera. The stealth rework, where stealth heroes are going to be worse than ever, cannot get into this game soon enough. I'm so sick of Valera. I'm so sick of Shadowstalk Tyrande. And, you know, I had the Nova on my team, whatever. It happens when you go up against Novas, too. So, the build I went with today, Perfect Aim, Drought Overflow, Incendiary Elixir, the quest talent to buff your cocktail build. Unfortunately, I was never able to finish that because, of course, of all the nonsense that was going on with getting my health chunked away from Tyrannus Sentinel. Cursed Bullet, but in hindsight, I probably should have taken Go for the Throat, even though there were a couple times I was able to use this first to chunk a portion of their health, and then use my cocktail to chunk another portion of their health, and then dive in to finish them off. And that's the kind of burst damage play that I've always found appealing with Greymane. Running Wild to increase the range for both Dark Flight and Disengage. Executioner, I was hoping to get more value from this because of all the slows that my team has, but unfortunately never really came into fruition. And Hunter's Blunderbuss as an extra bit of splash damage behind your auto attacks in your human form for wave clear or for doing damage against the enemy team. Unfortunately, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you play Quick Match on the weekend. You get matched up against a Tyrande and a Valera, even though they're not in a party together, but they decide to do this double stealth nonsense that is just detrimental to the game, and thank goodness they recognized this at Blizzard and said, we're going to put in a rework of how stealth works in this game to make it where stealth is no longer such a absurd amount of nonsense in Quick Match, where people are just finding it frustrating to play the game. Any of these low health characters, you cannot play any low health squishies in this game in Quick Match when there are heroes like Valera and Tyrande running around chunking away all of your health. I feel like I can't play any of these low health characters. I can only play high health warriors now because of all these assassins like Valera ruining your time in Quick Match. It's insane. But anyway, this is definitely the strong go-to build for Greymane. I have seen some builds that utilize, I think it's been another stealth aspect here, Eyes on the Dark, to be able to help get away, as well as Wizened Duelist to be able to increase the amount of damage you do, very similar to what Tracer has, though this is the one that, you lose this all on death, whereas you don't lose your stacks for this when you die. So number of different ways that you can play him, but the cocktail build has definitely been the strongest build and most popular build for Greymane, and is still definitely one of the strongest assassins in the game. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at another assassin that plays very differently, the epitome of the Warlock from World of Warcraft, Gul'dan, and we'll be checking him out when we come back. Stay tuned.